YouTube, what's cracking? What do we got here today? We got the new DDR4 32MHz Accelerate PNY heatsink. It's going to be replacing our good old low pros. So we had some low pros that we got when I first built my PC. This is a 16GB stick. And here's another 16GB stick, low pro. I got them low profile because I wanted clearance for my AIO, and the AIO is just fine, as you can see in here. Let me zoom out a little bit. As you can see in here, everything is just fine. So we're going to replace those in a second, but let's zoom in here. So we got, these are 2 packs, both for 16 in each pack, so 32 total, so 64 total for 32 here, 32 here, so 64 total. And the reason why I got them, I wasn't really looking to upgrade. I paid $100 or 80 something for these 2 sticks. It was about close to 100. So when I built my PC in August, it's what's today's date? October 18th. When I built my PC in August, I got these 232 or these 2 16s, the equals to 32 for $100. Well, Prime Day, Prime had another sale, and because of that, it made all their competitors come with different sales. And I was debating if I wanted RGB, and I was like, you know what, I could do RGB, but the RGBs were sold out. They had the 16 by 2 32 RGB PNY whites and blacks. They were all sold out. I could have got 4 8GB sticks, but then they would have only amounted to 32. So I was like, why would I, even though it was like $40 per kit, why would I get 4 RGBs to equal what I can get with 2? And then I looked and saw these here, which they're literally exactly the same thing. It's just that these are low profile and these have a higher heat sink on them. So hopefully it's not an issue. If it is, we'll send them back. But we should be fine. See, you can see the difference there. Look at how different that is. The low profile compared to the sink. So we're gonna open up one and put them in the board and make sure that they fit just fine. They should be fine. The AIO is not that restrictive. But the reason I got these is because they are normally $100 a package. So just like these here, these were close to $100 when I first got them. They were like 90, 98, 99. After taxes, they were 100. So these were $100 a package. However, GameStop, you heard me right, GameStop had a sale where they dropped them down to $89.99. You're saying, oh, well, that's not much from 100, but it is cheaper. But me being a pro member, I haven't paid for pro for years because I had so many points when I was a pro that every year I just used the pro points to re-up and become a pro, because it's on like 14,000 points. I still think I have like 60 or 70,000 GameStop points on my account. But anyways, pro members got an additional $18 discount. So instead of it being $89.99, they end up being $71.99 a piece. And I said, well, you can't beat that. 32 is great, 64 is better. And even if I had got the RGB ones, they would have been roughly around 100 and it would have been about $80, but like, again, they were sold out. I would have got them if they weren't sold out, but because they were, I went ahead and went with them. And even the RGB PNYs, they're all the same number. They all have the same exact specs, except for these draw 1.5 volts, and these draw 1.3. They all have CL16. They're all 32 megahertz rated. You have to turn on the XMP profile or the DOCP profile for AMD. If you do have an AMD board, it's not the XMP profile, it's the DOCP. So look for that inside your BIOS. So mine is already turned on. So we're not gonna make this too long. I'm gonna go ahead and open them up. Try to cut this and make it so I can store the other two. I'm building my niece a PC and she's gonna get these and we'll have those for a little while. And then eventually we'll probably upgrade them. So those will probably just become stock, you know, just for having around for bills and stuff. I might help one of my friends build a PC as well too, you know, and then we'll get those done. So let's see if we can get this open. I knew we were gonna do this. We're gonna cut these sides off too. I hate this cheap packaging. I wish they would just put them in a box because then you can't reuse the box for storage. I mean, I can, but it's gonna be a little rough. So cut the top off, cut the edges off. You should be able to get in there just fine. Good Lord. All right, hold on, let's do it like this. I hate this cheap plastic, bro. All right, let's see. We can have liftoff. Come on. Come on up out of there. There we go. So there we go. Yeah, this is all metal here. Let's see if I can get that in the frame. There we go. All metal here. This looks movable, but it looks pretty good. Compared to this, like I said, it's definitely a difference. It's definitely a difference. Alrighty. So let's set it up like that. Boom. And there you go. All good to go. That is the Accelerate 32 megahertz 2x16 kit. Until next time. So as you guys see, I had to take out, let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. I had to take out these two screws from my radiator here, and I had to take out my graphics card to get the other two in. These two fit just fine. It's these screws were hindering the other two, so let's see if we can get them in there. Yep, perfect. It's a snug fit, but once we get them in there, the screw shouldn't hinder. Now, this is gonna be an issue when I try to, like, if I come back and try to rebuild or anything, but I know what I need to do it. So we are in there. And that's all I care about is getting them in there and snug. Yep. There you go. When you hear that snap, you're good to go. Now, these didn't have serial numbers on them like my other ones did. They just have the back sticker. But I did look underneath here, and I used one of my little plier tools to try to pull out. There's a sticker underneath the metal, and I'm sure that has a serial number on it. But then when I was pulling it a little bit, it says void if removed. So I'm guessing that if they ever have to be serviced, you just send them in. They look at the serial number once they take the metal jacket off and service them. So just make sure when you push these down, you hear the click, and that's good. So we got 16, 16, 16, 16, 64. So I went from 32 to 64 for about 150 bucks after taxes with my GameStop Pro discount. I'll make sure everything is clicked. That one doesn't look clicked. It's not in line like the rest. But that's it, yep. And then I just put my 2 screws back in, and then we're good to go.